Hello and welcome to another special episode of HW Straight Drive with me Anil Rajpurohit and our sports editor Mahesh Kuti. India with a victory over Sri Lanka has reached the semi-final for the third consecutive time. With India topping the table, India would be playing the next match against the team who has not encountered the Indian team in the league stage. So Mahesh, India has not played New Zealand during the group stages. So will this match be a tough match for the Indian team?
See, had they played each other, we would have known the strengths and weaknesses against New Zealand and India both. Since they did not play, this is a great opportunity for India to play against New Zealand. India, I think in the last match, was able to get into the top position because Australia lost to South Africa. Otherwise, it would have been an Australia-New Zealand encounter. India would have had to play England. Whether New Zealand will be able to pull it off or not, that we will know at the end of the match. But by sheer performance and in form, I think India should be able to score over New Zealand.
The New Zealand team has reached the semi-final stage of the World Cup around 7 times, and it has reached the World Cup finale for the one time during the last World Cup. Do you think they also choke like the South African team?
Yeah, the records at least say that, right? It says that they've just made it to the finals once, and that was last time. So, along with South Africa, they also can be termed as chokers. But, the fact is that New Zealand, even in this World Cup, have not beaten a top side. And when you don't beat a top side, you're not very sure when you move into this crucial match, which is the semi-finals. The semi-finals, you should all remember, it's a one-off match. On that day, who plays better will go to. There's no second chance. In a semi-final, there's no second chance. Whereas in the league matches, there's a level of comfort. Even if you don't do well one day, you can come back and win a few other matches and still make it to the next stage. In the semi-finals, it's either you make it or you're out of the tournament.
During the 9 matches of the group stages, India was defeated just once by a stronger team like England, while New Zealand was defeated by England, Australia and Pakistan. So do you think India has an upper hand while playing the knockout stages?
Precisely, that's what I said. On form, India should be able to win against New Zealand because India have beaten all the sides except England. Whereas New Zealand have not been able to beat the top teams. So going by form, India should be able to win. But like what I keep telling is that it's a semi-finals game. It's who performs on that day. India's middle order has not been tested that much because the top order has always fired. If you have somebody like Rohit Sharma in such good form, most of the victories are done by the number 1, 2 and 3. Whereas when they encounter somebody like New Zealand, if New Zealand makes early inroads and the middle order gets exposed, then you don't know what will happen. Maybe somebody like Mahendra Singh Dhoni might rise up to the occasion. Hardik Pandya, who's been also in good form, he could contribute. But so far, it's the top order that has taken India through.
So do you believe that the New Zealand a good fast bowling unit would expose the Indian middle order?
See, New Zealand's bowling is very, very good. If you look at somebody like Trent Boult, Ferguson, Henry, they've got a very good set of bowlers, but they're all fast bowlers. Now, we don't know what is the strip going to be. They're going to play in Manchester. If it's a spin-friendly wicket, a lot of issues will get sorted out. India is definitely a better bowling side with spin bowling compared to New Zealand, whereas our pace bowlers are equally good. Secondly, we might be able to encounter spin better as a batting unit. But all this, we don't know what is going to happen at the toss. If India wins the toss and bats first, then the spinners can come to play in the second half of the match and can make a huge difference. But if New Zealand bats first, scores in the region of around 300 runs, it could be anybody's game.
So you believe that this match, the semi-final match, would be a go-through match for Dhoni because he's known as the man of big matches?
For some reason, I believe that Dhoni will perform in the semi-finals and in the finals if India go through. Because like what you said, he is a big match player. In 2011, we all remember the runs that he scored in the finals. He promoted himself. He promoted himself above an in-form Yuvraj Singh and scored those runs because he likes challenges. Okay, so yeah, something tells me that Dhoni will score runs in the semi-finals.
During the previous matches, India normally played with 2 fast bowlers. So in the last match against Sri Lanka, Bhuvi was smashed badly. In the previous match against Bangladesh, Mohammad Shami was smashed badly. Do you think the Indian team in the next match, in the semi-finale match, will play with all the 3 fast bowlers, or they would pick up Bumrah and another fast bowler and go with spinners?
See, everything depends on the strip. if it's going to be an out-and-out spin-friendly wicket, if the wicket is already dried up even before the toss is done, I think India will definitely will go with 2 spinners. Otherwise, India should play the 3 pace bowlers. They should have 1 spinner, which according to me should be Chahal, and the backup spinner I think should be Ravindra Jadeja. Jadeja is definitely a better batsman than Kuldeep, so he'll contribute with the bat. He's a fantastic fielder, and then he bowled very well the other day. See, if the pitch is doing something, Jadeja is a handful. Because he's very accurate, he's very fast off the air. So the thing is that if we can have Jadeja as a 5th bowler and Hardik as a 6th bowler, India's bowling problem will be solved.
But this will raise a question on the Indian middle order, because if we go with 3 fast bowlers and 2 spinners and plus Hardik Pandya, Indian batting team would have a batsman less.
Yeah, looking at the top order and looking at the way they're playing so well, I think India can risk that, because they'll have Rahul and Rohit opening and Virat coming at 3 and Rishabh Pant at 4 and Dhoni can come in at 5. I think we should be able to consume most of the overs with these 5 batsmen. You've always got Hardik Pandya and Ravindra Jadeja. Ravindra Jadeja is no muck with the bat. He can actually play well. He scored triple centuries in Ranji Trophy matches. So it's not that he's just a pushover. It's just that he doesn't concentrate too much on his batting. To me, if he can contribute with the bat, I don't think we need another spinner.
You're promoting Ravindra Jadeja in the team, but I would like to raise a question which Sanjay Manjrekar raised after the match against England. He said that Jadeja should not be included in the team as he's a bits and pieces player. He's quite good in the test, but not that good in the ODIs or the limited format. With Jadeja's performance in the last match, do you think he would be retained?
Okay, the issue that was raised by Sanjay Manjrekar, that he's a bits and pieces player, I think he's been paid to give his opinion, but there's something known as timing. In the midst of a World Cup tournament, so important tournament, we're just getting into the semi-finals, I don't think it was appropriate for Sanjay Manjrekar to raise an issue of this sort. Bits and pieces player, see, Manjrekar gets a lot of influence from Imran Khan. He's always gone on record saying that Imran Khan is his favorite captain, favorite player and all that. Imran had also mentioned the same thing to Sarfraz before he played the India match, that he should not be taking bits and pieces play. He used the Urdu term for that. So maybe he got influenced with that, and he said something to that effect, even for somebody like Ravindra Jadeja, who according to me is a very valuable player in white ball cricket. To call him bits and pieces player is like, you're taking away the confidence from him. As an Indian fan, everybody should be supporting the team out there. Maybe you might have a different choice of players in your list, but that's okay. Now they're the guys who are going to represent the country. Support them. Make sure that they give their best, and all that you can do is to not pull them down, but actually encourage them. I don't think Manjrekar was correct in calling him.
But many former players also raised questions on the way Ravindra Jadeja responded. They said that he should have responded with his performance, not being indulged in the verbal spat with the ex-player.
Okay, now there is something known as an action, and that is a reaction that came in from Ravindra Jadeja. I'm not saying what he did was correct or wrong. It is only obvious that people naturally return back the favor. Now Ravindra Jadeja that day bowled extremely well. I thought he bowled the first 8 overs brilliantly. Okay, he got tonked in the last 2 overs, but I think he bowled well. And as a fielder, I think he can man the backward point area extremely well. So to me, he will always feature in my 11.
The winner of this India versus New Zealand match would face a team who would win in the match against Australia and England, which is known as the Ashes of the world cricket. Australia has lost just against India and South Africa in the group stages, while England has lost against Sri Lanka, Australia and Pakistan. So do you think the Australian team has an upper hand in the second semi-finale?
See, by logic, it is extremely difficult for Australia to lose 2 consecutive matches. They lost the last match against South Africa, chasing 320 odd runs. So I don't think that is going to happen again. To me, Australia will start as favourites. Australia has been the most consistent side in world cricket over 20-25 years. They've won back-to-back World Cups. In fact, they won 3 World Cups on the trot, 99, 2003 and 2007. 2011 they lost. It came back very strongly. Michael Clarke and his boys did extremely well in Australia and won the 2015 World Cup. Remember, they're the defending champions. And in one of our previous shows, I said that India versus Australia is the biggest match for India. It's the toughest match for India. I see no reason why Australia won't beat England. To me, Australia will start as favourites.
And your player to look out for in the game against India and New Zealand?
See, Virat has not performed to his ability. He has not scored a century. So somebody like Virat will want to prove that that he's the best player in the Indian team. Rohit Sharma has been playing brilliantly. If he has Virat Kohli to support him and he also scores very, very big, I think that will be the best thing for India. So for me, the man to look out for from the Indian side has to be Virat Kohli, and second would be Mahendra Singh Dhoni. And for New Zealand, I think Kane Williamson will have to play well. If Williamson doesn't play well, I don't see New Zealand competing against India.
Your prediction in the game against India and New Zealand, who will reach the final?
See, while there's a lot of factors like who will win the toss and what is a 22-yard strip all about, on form and fitness, I think India will win.
So our sports expert believe that India should win the match against New Zealand with the performance of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Do watch the match. We'll meet you after the match for the review of the India versus New Zealand match. Till then, it's goodbye from all of us.